I absolutely love my stepdad. He had his annoyances sometimes. Like, we ended up hearing many of his stories over and over again. If you've ever watched Big Fish, like, it reminds me of that. I'm not 100% sure how many of those stories really happened the way he described, but he was a storyteller and we all knew the stories by the end. The stories and the jokes. But unfortunately, my stepdad passed away a couple of years ago. It was mid-COVID times, and unfortunately, they didn't catch the liver and pancreatic cancer symptoms that they could have maybe a little bit earlier. And so from the point of knowing that he had that, it was a mere matter of months, and then he was gone. And my stepdad, to me, someone that I saw a lot because he lived with my mum from the age of when I was 13. And even though I initially got the bus to school, the price of it didn't make any sense. He became the person that took me to school most of the time. He also invigilated in my school at certain points. He was as good as a bonus dad to me. Never called him dad, but he had that significance in my life. To the point that when I got married to my ex, he walked me from the car to the top of the aisle. Bottom of the aisle. Top. But I don't know. And then there was a handshake moment with my dad, who then proceeded to walk me down the aisle. And I feel like that's one of the most beautiful things that I did in that sense, because they both meant something to me. He would never replace my dad, but my dad appreciates what my stepdad did for me in that sense as well. And thankfully they all got along really nicely enough that things like that could be done. And so my mum has always said that she wanted to do something for that. When Rob passed away, my stepdad, we raised funds, that it was all done for Farley's Hospice. And because of how well connected this man was, he raised an incredible, it was more than £3,000. And this guy's from Sunderland, he's very well connected because he was that social kind of guy, had lots of friends. But my mum has always said that she wanted to do something a little bit more. And since those years have passed, she sent me a few odd things. But this year, I saw that there was a Santa Fun Run for Farley Hospice. Now, Farley Hospice is a charity based in Essex, I believe. I don't think it's anywhere else. And they support the people that are in their end of life stages and their families. Now, I didn't live in the home, my mum's home, when Robert was going through that stage. In fact, I was in part of the early bit, but not in the really crucial part, let's put it that way. I had just moved into here, in fact. So I didn't see absolutely everything that Farley Hospice did. But for my mum and brother and for Rob himself, they did an incredible job. Mum and Ben speak about this much more passionately than me as to knowing exactly what the nurses that came in and what Farley Hospice overall did for Rob and them, and supporting acts, supporting the family in that time. They support a bunch of families in all different ways, basically trying to get the most out of the final stages of life that person has. They provide that through physical care and emotional support as well. But they're only funded by the NHS for 40%. So they rely on donations and support from the public to fundraise the 27,000 odd pounds that is required to run that service every single day. So when I saw the Santa Fun Run coming up in Chelmsford, I made it part of my mission to do it as a race for Robert. Done a Santa Fun Run before, it was great fun, but this one's just a little bit more special. So I've invited friends to take part. I mean, for them it really was just a fun run. I hadn't really explained my full idea of this, but bless them for signing up anyway. And I've since invited more friends, more family to get involved. And we now have like a good strong double-digit team of us taking part, whether that's going to be running or walking or jogging or somewhere in between. And so far to date, with 3 days still to go, we have raised £300. Okay, it's not quite the £3,000 that he managed to raise with the funeral, his celebration of life service, but it's just my little way of adding that little bit more to something that I know made a big difference to a bunch of members of my family at one of the hardest times on top of COVID already, let's not forget, and just give back to a service that does so much in such a testing time. So 2 messages really. Step parents are wonderful people. Even if they're not mum or dad, they are significant in any child's life if they take that role on. And I have way too many Facebook status memories of Robert to say that he wasn't a key feature of my daily life. But also big thanks to Farley Hospice. If you want to take part in any fun run that they're doing or any charity event that they're doing, I highly recommend it. Because you don't know if you might need their support one day or a member of your family might need their support. And it makes all of the difference. I will, of course, share what it looks like by the end of us all running as Santa through Central Park this Sunday coming.